DHCP, how DHCP works, and there is a DORA process. If you need lightest chance of asking the DORA process also, please don't give up. Okay. So we must complete these two things as thought it is. We'll try to complete these two things today. Okay. And tomorrow we'll start with the cloud computing. What is a cloud computing? What are the different advantages of using cloud, different services, different models, different cloud service providers, different services in cloud, okay, domains. We'll see that one tomorrow. Plus Office 365 or Microsoft 365. That is, we'll discuss tomorrow. So then tomorrow is a Friday, so we will complete that part. So part 2 will be completed by tomorrow. So on Monday, so still we have a time now. So I think there is no back-to-back batch is not there right now for your batch. In case Monday, if I don't have any batch Monday or Tuesday, and you have a time, in case you do not have any test or anything, we'll see once more what are the quick revision of entire topics. As many topics, I will try to give you quick review, or I will try to see only important based questions. So Monday, so tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, so including Sunday. So go through all the technical questions, whatever the information we are giving to you. So go through all the technical questions, voice and accent questions, segregate all personal based questions, means normal common communication questions and technical. Each one go through it, find out what questions you understand, what are questions you can able to give an answer, practice that answer. Which question you have a doubt, what answer we should give, any issue is there, note down, put it in our WhatsApp group. So Monday Monday or Tuesday we're going to discuss. This is your chance, guys. That is up to you only. Okay. So my belief is we should not give anything in a time. So at the time of interview, whatever they ask 10 questions, 5 questions, 20 questions. You should give all questions answers. As many as questions they should ask. That's always better. So they want to try to judge you. Like so they are asking more questions means you are giving more correct answers. They're getting interested. So there are like your way of giving answers. So then they go to the another question, another question, another question. Okay. So that is we should make ourselves. We have to impress the interviewer not by words, but just by giving correct answers, proper answer, proper way of telling answers also. Anyway, okay. So here we start, guys. So another very important question, most common question is, what is DHCP and DNS? DHCP, DNS also belongs to your networking topic, right? In networking, we have discussed DHCP, DNS so many times. So what is the DHCP? What is DNS? What is DHCP server? What is DNS server will do? Okay. So again, we'll see what is DHCP. DHCP is a protocol. DNS is also a protocol. DHCP means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Port number is 6768. The DHCP server. Okay, so there is a DHCP server assign or configure IP address to their client devices. DHCP server assign or configure IP address to their client devices. So what is DHCP server do? I have a client and there is a DHCP server. Okay. So client send a request for an IP address. So client said, I do not have any IP address. Please give me an IP address. So DHCP server assign an IP address to our client devices. Our client got an IP address. IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address. This entirely configured to our configured. So we send a request to DHCP server. Then DHCP client. DHCP client means our system only, our mobile phone, our laptops, our desktops, or TVs. These are all DHCP clients only. Okay. So we send a request, a DHCP request will send, and server receives the request and respond to the client and give assign IP address. It's not a two-step process, guys. Totally four steps are there. But first of all, we should understand what is a DHCP server purpose. Okay. So simple answer. What is a DHCP server? What is DHCP? DHCP is a protocol. DHCP is a protocol, dynamic host configuration protocol, port number 6768. Two port numbers are there. And immediately you have to tell DHCP server assign or configure IP address to the client devices automatically. Client request for IP address to DHCP server. DHCP server assign an IP address to the client device or configure IP address to the client device. That's it. This is DHCP server. That's it. Completed. Okay. What answer? That is an answer. What is next? What is next? So we go to some explanations. What is this? Because you have a computer or laptop, mobile phone, or a TV, smart TV. So whatever the device it is, you want to communicate in the network. You want to communicate in the network. So you want to communicate in the network. First of all, of course, you have to get connected, and either wired or wireless, you should get connected. And next one is you need a IP address. Without IP address, you can't communicate. So your system need an IP address. The same network, same logical network. So its system need an IP address first of all. Without IP, you can't communicate. But how is this IP address is there? It not be by default in system, in our laptop or desktop or mobile phone. There's no default IP address. Some people believe it's already there inside. No, guys, IP address won't be there in by default. Only in a Wi-Fi routers, there's a built-in IP address which is manufactured put that IP address. By default IP, one default IP they will put it for connecting purpose. Pre-configured one. It's not stable also. It can able to change that one. But all our devices do not have any IP address instantly. But MAC address on your adapter is permanent MAC address, which is manufactured MAC adapter. MAC address is already fixed. IP address has to be given. How to give? One is manually can give IP address, and another one is automatical also will get an IP address. We'll see the manual IP address configuration. If you assign an IP address to a system, manually you are assigned an IP address. How to assign IP address manually? Go to ncpa.cpl. Okay, ncpa.cpl. .cpl means control panel. ncpa.cpl directly opens network connections window. You see an adapter here, and in the adapter you want to assign an IP address. Okay, so you want to assign an IP address, then you have to double click or right click status or double click. Window opens, check the details, go to properties, go to IPv4, go to properties, and select use following IP address and type your IP address, which IP address you want to assign. For example, you are assigning an IP address 192.168.12.15. Example, you are assigning IP address, subnet mask, the default gateway, not required. Just this for fun, okay. Just I'm assigning some both IP address, subnet mask, and DNS server address. Default gateway I didn't assign. If I assign, it will show error because I have a lot of gateways. Okay, so that's why I didn't assign. Otherwise, you can assign us manually configured. See, DHCP enabled now means it's a manually configured IP. DHCP enabled now means manually configured. Also, you can see DHCP server address. So manually configured IP address. I configured IP, subnet mask, DNS server address. Of course, you can also put a default gateway also. I didn't put it. If you want, I can put it also. Just to show you how to configure. That's it. See, that's it will throw a message that is multiple gateways are there. See, I got IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server address, DHCP enabled now, and now DHCP server address. So obviously it is manual configured IP address. Okay. So why should we configure manually? If you do not have a DHCP server, then you should configure manually. So configuring manually. Assign an IP address manually called that is IP address is called static IP. I configured IP address manually. It means that IP address is static IP. Static IPs won't be changed automatically when you change the network. For example, I connected in our office for my Wi-Fi adapter. I configured an IP address, static IP I configured, and I connected and communicating. Now work is completed. I go to my home. Then I open my laptop. So yesterday night at 11:30, I opened my laptop to upload the videos, right? So I connected to my network. And my network is maybe it's a different IP network. Okay, in office different IP network, in my home different IP network, for example. So I have to change an IP according to my home network. Again, I have to change my IP address manually. IP address won't be automatically changes itself. I have to change it manually, or I have to change it to automatic mode. Okay, if I don't have a DHCP, so you have definitely manual. That's called a static IP. Okay, you have a more number of devices. One device you can configure, maybe 5 devices, 10 devices, 20 devices. You can able to configure manually, but more number of devices, 50 devices, 100, 200, 300, 500. Can we go to each and every PC and configure IP address? It is lot of administrative burden. Okay, that is a point in a manual configuration. Next, manual configuration also compulsory in sometimes, where for servers, all servers should configure with IP address manually, because stable IP address, static IP is required. Compulsory, you should require a static IP. It should not be changed automatically. Even server, you are not moving from one network to another network. It is always stays in the same network only. So servers compulsory static IP, and certain resources also, certain computers and certain resources like a printer, network printers or a shared printers. So the shared printer system or network printer should have a static IPs, because printer IP changes randomly. It is not a good idea. It is, we don't know what IP today. Okay, so like that it is difficult. That's the point. Okay. So for certain devices, compulsory manual IP address has to be next. Already I told more number of devices increases, difficult to manage. Difficult to assign IP address, managing IP address, administrative burden is increases. So what are the other things? There is a possibility of wrong IP address. So if you remember when we are learning about when we are in the networking basics, IP address consent. So there is, I took a 5 systems, 3 systems, same IP network, 2 system different IP configurations. So one, 3 are communicating each other, 2 are not communicating each other. Why? Because of I configured manually. So some type of mistake while I'm typing the IP address, by mistake, I enter a wrong IP address. There's a possibility of wrong IP address manual configuration. And also conflicts. Conflict means 2 or more devices having same IP address, so that it is IP conflict is created in the same physical and logical network, means same segmented network. So two or more devices having same IP address, IP conflict is generated. That's it. IP conflict is IP conflict is generated. Okay. So there is a possibility, right? So there is a 50 devices. I am going to each and every device configuring IP address. Some system I may enter wrong IP, some system I enter same IP repeatedly. So it is wrong IP conflicts are created. Possibilities there. Okay. Next. Guys, all we know how to assign IP address. Not everyone knows IP address. Even you may learn, some of you learn recently how to assign IP address. Some of you still having confusion how to assign IP address. Not everyone knows how to assign IP. Not every device we can't assign IP address manually. That is not much easy sometimes. Okay, so these are the points. Not every device we can't assign IP address. There's a difficulties like a printers, mobile phones, smart TV, smart LEDs like that. Next, automatic. You can get an IP address automatically. IP address can be assigned to the device automatically from the DHCP server. So IP address is assigned automatically means dynamic IP address. Dynamic IP address. So this is my Wi-Fi adapter. Double click. See the details. And I got an IP address automatically. See, I have an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. See, DHCP server, DNS server addresses. And you can see DHCP enable yes and DHCP server also. From this DHCP server, I got this IP address. Okay. So what configuration? Go to the properties. In the properties, go to IPv4 properties and select the first option, obtained IP address automatically, obtained DNS server automatically. So what happened when I select the first one and saying that get IP address automatically. Our adapter and our system send request to the DHCP server. From DHCP server, an IP address is assigned to our system. So with that IP address, we are communicating. Okay, so this IP address is dynamic IP address. Dynamic IP address will be changed frequently. Now I am getting one IP. Maybe I will get it tomorrow different IP. In some places, you may get a same IP every time. Sometimes you will get a different IP in different times. Okay, so today I got one IP. Tomorrow I may get a different IP address. It depends upon the DHCP server. Okay. And another what I said, when I came to office, I turned on my laptop and my system is on. So that our system got an IP address from Office DHCP server. So here, okay, from Office DHCP server, I got an IP address. IP is configured to my system. Now, once my work is completed, I shut down, I went to my home and opened my laptop and or on my laptop. So then for my laptop, a new IP address is assigned from my home DHCP server, which is nothing but our Wi-Fi router. So from that one, I got an IP address whenever I connected. So I don't need to change IP address manually. It automatically changes based on what network you are connected in that, based on that DHCP server in that network, what DHCP server is there, based on that IP address will be changes. So it is a dynamic IP. Okay. And dynamic IP addresses means automatically configuration of IP address. You should not apply on the servers. Okay. Servers, storage devices, resources like printers. So certain type of devices you should not assign dynamic IP address. Okay. Because the IP address may be same or different when it is in a different times. Okay. Today you may get one IP, tomorrow you may get a different IP. It all depends on. So better to choose a static IP instead of dynamic IP address. Okay, when you change the network, automatically IP address also change. Advantages. See, there is a no or a very less possibility of assigning wrong IP addresses because DHCP has a IP address range is there. So within that range only, it will give assign IP address to their client systems. It is also try to avoid the conflicts. Even already some of the system is configured with a static IP. So if there is a possibility, same duplicate IP also possible. When there is a IP conflict is created between the two systems, the DHCP server try to resolve the conflict by assigning different IP to a DHCP client system. So there is a less or no possibility of assigning wrong or IP conflicts. Not everyone not required to know how to assign IP address. In your home, you have your Wi-Fi router and you have a smart TV, your mobile phones, you are connected. So when you are making connectivity, you will get automatic an IP address because your Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. So if you have a DHCP server, no need to know how to assign IP. Simply you have to go to select automatic or a obtained IP address automatically or get IP address automatically kind of stuff. Okay, so that it will try to get connected to DHCP and SN IP addresses. And different types of devices is very difficult to assign IP address manually. So DHCP server, so when it is in automatic mode, so DHCP server assign IP address to your device automatically. Assured manual and automatic configuration also, see. So what to select for a manual configuration, use following at IP address is a manual configuration. To get the IP address from DHCP server, you select obtained IP address automatically. Whenever you're checking your IP address or what IP address you got it, in that one, if it is showing your DHCP enabled yes, means you got IP address from DHCP server. Also check the DHCP server address in that one. If it is showing DHCP enabled no means IP address configured manually. Okay. Oh, guys understand? So there is a DHCP server and there is a client system. A, B, C, D systems are connected in the network. For a C system, IP address is configured manually. Means now who are the DHCP clients? A, B, D on D. So C is manually configured. So C don't send any request to get an IP address because already it is having an IP address. So obviously system has an IP address. So system don't ask for IP address again. So it is manually configured. Okay, it is a manually configured. So it is won't ask IP address again. Okay. Next, in a DHCP server, there is a DHCP scope, means a range is given. So whenever a system send a request to DHCP server check the request and assign an IP address to the client system one by one, line by line, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So here it is 10 to 110. The first system comes, it will give 192.160.1.10. Other system came, it is given 192.160.1.11. But there is a problem in this diagram. That is, in a B system, it is assigned 1.11. But C system is already 1.11. So there is a IP conflict. Okay. And D system, as per IP address, D system got 1.12. So what about a B and C? B and C got a conflict because B is 1.11, C is also 1.11. So what our DHCP server will do, it change the B's IP address. It cannot change the C IP address. It will change the B's IP address to other IP. Instead of 11, put a 13. So it's a automatically conflict will be lost. These DHCP servers can be a router act like a DHCP server, Wi-Fi router act like a DHCP server. You can use a Windows server as a DHCP server. You can use Linux server as a DHCP server. Okay. Once IP address is assigned to the client, depends upon the DHCP server options. So we got a IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address, and lease duration also assigned. Okay. This is DHCP server. Just relax. Small, like a 10 second, 1 minute. Just 1 minute relax. Then I will explain this one. I'm not it's not breaking. I'm not stop the recording. Just only this part I will explain. Okay, and then it's a DHCP part is completed. Yeah, one troubleshooting is also APIPA. We know already APIPA, but I want to give you because we are in a DS. Relax for a minute. Okay, people got relax a minute. Because once we are complete as one single topic, when you are going through once any time, so you will get entire information in one time only. That's why I didn't give a break, just relax to, you hear a lot of things in one single time. So I want to make it just give a pause. That's it. Okay. We'll continue. There is 2 points are there. One is about a DORA process. Another one is a APIPA address. Okay, 2 are there. Okay, so last part what we have discussed, whenever the client send a request to the DHCP server, so you send a request to the DHCP server. So DHCP server understand what is your request based on your protocol, DHCP protocol. It will assign an IP address to your system. So because you're a DHCP client. Okay. But actually, as I said, it's not a two-step process, it is a four-step process. It is totally four steps are there for assigning IP address. Of course, there is two steps and four steps, both are there. But when it is a four-step, when is a two steps. Guys, you have a DHCP server and there is a DHCP client. There is a DHCP server and there is a DHCP client. CLIENT. I done a spelling mistake, guys. Please, but don't worry. Okay. So this DHCP client, what we are selected, obtained IP address automatically. There is two options. Second one is use following IP address. First option is obtained IP address automatically. When you select on your adapter obtain IP address automatically, means the DHCP client should get IP address from DHCP server. How it will get? If the client knows where is DHCP server, did you told to your DHCP client who is your DHCP server? Did you mention any place who is the DHCP server? We didn't mention. So this DHCP client has to find where is the DHCP server. Okay, the client has to find where is the DHCP server. So the client will send a discovery packet to the client will send means exactly say not sending. Client is broadcast a DHCP packet. Client broadcast a DHCP discovery packet. DHCP discover packet to find where is DHCP server. In the network, you have a DHCP server, right? Either it is Windows server DHCP server, Linux server DHCP server, router as a DHCP server, Wi-Fi router as a DHCP server. It means there is a DHCP server. If no DHCP server means you will get different kind of output. That's we'll see in the second. Okay. So the client send a discovery packet, a DHCP discovery packet to find where is the DHCP server. How it will send? The two address of client is 0.0.0.0. Okay, two address, sorry, not to address, from address. Okay, source address. Okay, source address. And destination is 255.255. Okay, now we broadcast a message to everyone. And so it is a message, are you DHCP server? Like that. So in that network, we have a DHCP server. DHCP server receives that packet and responding to the client like this. It is telling that, yes, I am the DHCP server. I have an IP address. Do you want this IP address? That is, it giving an offer. So DHCP server giving an offer to the client. Of course, it is also broadcast message only. So it is sending a offer packet. DHCP server broadcast offer packet to our client. Client is identified based on the MAC address here. This client don't have an IP address, it cannot identify by IP address. Now it is identified MAC address. It send a offer packet to the client. Okay, so what is that? Yes, I am a DHCP server. And do you need an IP address? I have an IP address. I have this IP address. Do you need this IP address? Yes. Client receive the packet, offer packet, and giving a request. It's just an offer letter only. So you are sending a request. Yes, I want this IP address to configure my network. So we send a request. When the sending, not sending, it's again broadcasting only. So when DHCP server receives, when DHCP server receive this request, so what it will do? It will send an acknowledgement packet. So this DHCP client now configured with an IP address and confirm that IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server address, DNS server address, lease duration also. So this process is called a DORA process. What is DORA? Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Okay. There is a very less chance, but there is a chance of asking what is DORA or DHCP process of assigning IP address. DHCP process or DHCP process of assigning IP address. Or what is DORA process? All are same. DORA process is like a DHCP assign IP address to client devices. The process, the step-by-step process of assigning IP address is called a DORA process, or the DHCP process of assigning IP address is called a DORA process. So what is a DORA? What is DORA process? What is DORA? Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Once you told discover, offer, request, acknowledgement, then only you should explain. Like this, the client broadcast discovery packet to the network. So once DHCP server receives discovery packet, it will give IP offer to the client. Client receive the IP offer and send IP request for a DHCP server. The DHCP server give an acknowledgement to the DHCP client, and the client is configured with an IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP server, DNS server, and lease duration also. Okay, so this is DORA process. Guys, understand what it is? So there is a client. Okay, there is a client. So for example, this is C1 system. So there is a client. Try to get an IP address from DHCP server. It send a request to the DHCP server to get an IP address from DHCP server. If this client failed to get IP address from DHCP server, what happened? So why it is failed to get an IP address from DHCP server? Maybe the DHCP server is not connected, or maybe you do not have a DHCP server, or no DHCP server is connected to your system or your network. Okay, understand? DHCP server is not available, not connected. DHCP server is down. DHCP services is down. DHCP services are down. DHCP IP address range is there. Okay, there is a DHCP server IP address range is there. So as per the range, all IP addresses are given. So no IP address is available in DHCP server. Maybe in the DHCP server, there is a deny list is there. Okay, allow deny list. In the deny list, it is mentioned your system MAC address. If this system request for IP address, don't give. That is also possible. Okay, so there is a different reason. One is the server is not there. Server is not at all. No DHCP server. First one. Second one is DHCP server is not connected to your system. No communication, no connectivity between your client and DHCP server. Connectivity or DHCP is not there. Anything works. Same. It is there but not connected means what is use? Okay. So DHCP server is down. Is down. Okay. Three things. Next. DHCP server is available, but service is not available, service is down. Service is down. Next is DHCP server. IP addresses, that range of IP address should be assigned to the client system. That entire range is already all IP addresses are assigned. So no IP address available. Or finally, your system in the deny list means some systems only it will assign, some system it won't assign. So like that, you are in a deny list, or maybe there is yellow list only for yellow people only it will assign, all are denies only. So there all that time also you won't get an IP address. Okay, so your client is failed to get an IP address or unable to get IP address from DHCP server. Any of these reasons, what happened? System itself, system generate itself an IP address from APIPA range. System assign an IP address, okay, from APIPA automatic private IP address range. This automatic private IP address range is 169.254, sorry, 254.0.1 is starting range. It's a class B address. 169.254, 169.254 network. Any host between 169.254, 255, 254. Last one is 254. It's a valid range. 0 to 255 is 1, that is 1 to 255. 254. Any IP address in between 169.254.0.1 to 169.254.255.255. 255.255. Any IP address will be assigned to your adapter. Basically, it is based on your MAC address. Okay. So your system failed to get an IP address from DHCP server. So your system assign itself an IP address from APIPA range. Okay. APIPA range. Automatic private IP address. Okay. So that's the point. What if a DHCP server is not found? So this adapter, I assign an IP address manually, right? In case I said get IP address from DHCP server to this adapter, but there is no DHCP server is connected to this DHCP server. So what happened? System try to find a DHCP server which is connected to this system adapter. If not found, then what happened? System itself assign an IP address from APIPA range. You see, DHCP enable yes, so it is automatic IP. If it is automatic IP means where is IP address subnet mask, it is showing something, but what about default gateway DNS? Very important is where is a DHCP server address? It means it's automatic generated one. Okay, to avoid a conflicts, or if you don't find DHCP server and you didn't configure manually, then our system generate an IP address. But with this IP address, you can't communicate in the network. Mostly you are not able to communicate in the network. That in same segment network. That it is a private IP. Okay, so when you see an IP address, it is showing 169.254 means it is APIPA address, automatic private IP address. If you got APIPA, what to do? If you got APIPA, what to do? Automatic private IP. If you see your main system, main adapter, so I use that is a separate virtual adapter. It is if my main system itself it is showing APIPA address, means you didn't get an IP address from DHCP server. So earlier we told some different reasons, right? So we have to verify one by one. Is DHCP service available or not? Connected or not? Is a DHCP total IP addresses? How many IP addresses are assigned? How many IP addresses are available? Is any IP address are available or not? Restart the DHCP services. These DHCP services are running or not? Restart the DHCP services. The DHCP server is connected to network properly or not? So like that, you have to verify. Okay. Um, you have to verify and troubleshoot the DHCP things. If it is turn off, turn on it. If it is disconnected, connect it. Okay. If services required, then restart the services. Okay. So like that. So try to check the DHCP server. Make sure it is working on it. Also check the your MAC address in the denial list or not. Okay. First check the DHCP server. Make sure that troubleshoot the DHCP server and make it DHCP server works. So that's the point. So if DHCP server is started working, so what happened? Our client device get an IP address. So immediately our client device IP address also changes when DHCP is up and running. In general, but sometimes not. System failed to get IP address from DHCP. So DHCP system generated an IP address system as a system generate IP address from APIPA by default automatic private IP address. So in case DHCP server is online, but your adapter is showing still old IP 169.254.something IP only it is showing. Or sometimes you change your DHCP server. You connected to different DHCP. Your network is connected to different DHCP server, but your system not changing IP address to according to that DHCP server. Sometimes it is you're still showing the old IP. What to do? So there is a command ipconfig space / release. ipconfig space / release removes all your old IP address that to dynamically configured IP address. Dynamic IP is only it will remove, not static IP. So it will remove the old IP address. So now if you remove the old IP, whether it is 169.254 or maybe some other IP, now you want to get a fresh IP address from your DHCP server. Then you go ipconfig space / renew to get a new IP address from the DHCP server. Also, you can go to the GUI mod. Go to ncpa.cpl. Right click on that NIC. Okay, right click on the adapter. Click on the disable. Then enable it. Just disable your adapter. Enable the adapter. So it refresh everything and get the new information. Okay, this is about your APIPA guys. So that's a cover completed. It is 248. I will try to complete DNS in a 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Okay. Be there, don't go. Just relax 2 minutes, then I will complete the